Hey guys, this is Eric with the Miller Park Minute, where we're throwing strikes and getting likes, hitting dingers, and getting listeners. This is the second, number 2, wrestling podcast on this show. We are now doing a Raw feature every week. If you come for baseball and expect the normal content, it's Monday night, and Monday night is Raw is War. So, we are introducing a new topic. If you're here for baseball, I'm sorry, that's not what this episode is about. Move along. Come to the next episode. There'll be one in 20 to 30 minutes that's baseball related. This tonight is the wrestling podcast. So, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. Okay, sorry. I had to do a tagline. I could have said I'm the best in the world, but yeah. I'm just a podcaster, man. So we're going to talk about tonight's Raw on Netflix. We're going to talk about CM Punk's Donuts is the tagline. And if you caught the main event tonight, you'll know why I said CM Punk's Donuts. This was another fun-filled episode. We started out with CM Punk in the ring. Well, so they did the cinematic thing. They did the cinematic thing again. And it's a little war. It's a little tired on me at this point, but I enjoy the fact that we're doing it. I enjoy the fact that they're putting effort into the production quality of Monday Night Raw. It's not the same old hokey entrances. You know, you see a guy pull up. CM Punk pulled up in an SUV, a big SUV. I believe it was a Tahoe. Could be wrong. But it was... he walks through, hyping the crowd, really fun entrance, fun overall. And then he gets into the ring and, he takes a moment to talk about the California wildfires. Cool thing to do. Which they were in California, so it only makes sense. But then he gets in there and he delivers a passionate promo, talks about coming for the Royal Rumble. Then, of course, and he says he's done with Seth Rollins. Then, of course, we get Seth Rollins. Then Seth Rollins says he's going to steal Punk's spot. And then we get our boy Drew, the man that likes to crash the party, Drew McIntyre. And I thought it was great. I thought it was great how they laid that all out, how they were ready to fight. Drew wasn't ready to fight. And at the end of the day, all three are going to be in the Rumble. It adds more anticipation for that Royal Rumble match, which is, in my eyes, the Royal Rumble is one of the best matches of the year just because it has so many superstars. You get the throwbacks. You get everybody and their brother in that match. And I expect some good surprises this year. I think Triple H is going to do it right, and I think we're going to see a lot of great things. So when we go into a segment like that, you expect in fighting, but they've done a lot of the fighting lately with the Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes storyline. So I think they're going to not necessarily do that. I think they're going to skip it on that line. If you go to, so we are live on Twitter. We're live on the Miller Park Minute YouTube channel. I know the channel is about baseball, but this is a wrestling podcast. There is going to be a wrestling podcast at least once a week, maybe on a Saturday night if there is a main event or a pay-per-view, or as they call it, a premium live event. So we're going to talk about Netflix Raw, and we're gonna cover it because it's my damn show and I make the rules. And like I said, if you got a problem, move on. Then we go into, it's Raw on Netflix is the hashtag, just so you know. I keep putting it in wrong. Raw on Netflix. I want to see what people are saying, what people's thoughts were on it. Penta was a really good debut. That was a good feature of. Oh, I didn't finish. Backtrack. Circle back. So now, as far as we know, we have Drew, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and John Cena entering the Royal Rumble. This is already a star-studded Rumble. This is already a star-studded Rumble. And there's going to be more. There's going to be more. You've got some really hot main event talent right now on Monday Night Raw and on, well, just in the WWE in general, I should say. The storylines are great. You're going to see probably more members of the Bloodline, main event Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. They're not going to be not featured on that card for Royal Rumble. The other thing that we saw tonight after all of that, we saw Penta's debut in a match with Chad Gable, who Chad Gable is like now wearing the tights, looking just like Kurt Angle coming out there. They've even got the "You Suck" chants going. You suck, you suck. It's pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. And that was a great match. Chad Gable is a good technical wrestler. I believe he's got the amateur wrestling background. Don't quote me on that. Leave that comment if you know for certain on that. I don't. But then Penta did some moves. And that's some of that lucha libre style. And that is, if you've ever watched any of the AAA wrestling or anything like that, that style is so fast-paced and so phenomenal. Like, that match was incredible. And Penta pulled the victory in his first match. I think that speaks good things for him. They said it was the worst kept secret in professional wrestling. They really did do a lot of spoiling. They released Penta merch earlier today, the masks, everything. So it was really kind of cool. We can't forget to talk about Jey Uso. Jey Uso and Gunther getting together in the middle of the ring to, Gunther was kind of coming out, just being the Gunther and saying, his usual stick, he's the best. And, Jey came out, called him out. We have a main event match for Saturday night's main event, which, okay, I'm confused. I'm going to Google it. Or no, I'm on the WWE page. So let's go shows. Main event is before the Rumble? So the Rumble is 2 weeks away, right? February 1st. When is the Saturday night main event? Watch on demand on Peacock. Okay, but where's the schedule? That's what I want to know. Tickets. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out upcoming WWE events. So it's January 25th. So the Rumble is when? The 1st? Oh, man, they got back-to-back? That's interesting. So we are going to do a Saturday night main event, and then, like, literally 7 days later, we're having Royal Rumble. Wow. Okay, so they're going to push. What's going to happen is they're going to push some matches to the Saturday night main event card, be the undercard, and then in April we've got Royal Rumble, WrestleMania Sunday and Saturday, and then there's the Sunday and Saturday SummerSlam. So my question, though, with all of this is the Raws on Netflix are not really. Oh, there's a Madison Square Garden one coming up. So I think that what they're trying to do is they're trying to make them more premium live events. Because as you may or may not know, I live in the great state of Wisconsin. So I was trying to figure out when they're going to do their typical stop in Wisconsin before Mania. And now it looks like they have a little bit more of a schedule coming out. I'm just going to see here. Usually they stop here right before WrestleMania. So Elimination Chamber is in Canada, right? Rogers Center, PA. Spain. They're going to Spain before WrestleMania? Shit. Interesting. So they may be skipping us this go around before. Well, no, Road to WrestleMania events. Okay, so they're going international before they're going. Okay, cool, not cool. Sacramento, Minneapolis. Ooh, is the closest Monday Night Raw coming before April? Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is. Ah, that's so sad. That sucks, man. I may be going to Minneapolis for Raw. Okay, so anyways, back to the show. Let's talk more about this show and what we saw on Monday Night Raw tonight. Penta was good. Penta was really good. That was really exciting to see it. Lucha Libre. Heavy Mysterio vibes. Heavy Rey Mysterio vibes. Not Dominic, because Dominic uses some of the moves, but he's not total lucha style. But a very good, very epic win. Then there was, okay, so I'm losing timeline here. I'm sorry, it's been a minute. So then there was, they basically announced Seth Rollins and McIntyre facing next week on Raw. I think what they're going to keep doing is they're going to keep hyping a main event and try and give a good main event every week, which is awesome because it's, Raw on Netflix. It's WrestleMania series. You want to keep things going well. Then we had Lyra Valkyrie versus Dakota Kai to crown the first Intercontinental Women's Intercontinental Championship. Sorry, I said that backwards. A very solid match. It was kind of felt, and I kind of knew out the top that it was going to be Lyra Valkyrie. I hope I'm saying that right. But it was a very solid match across the board. And I'm going to skip around. Then we get to Rhea. Rhea arrives. Rhea comes in. Rhea does the mommies on top, always on top, or back on top after dethroning Liv last week, which was great. Side note, the segment, I forgot this segment. The segment with Judgment Day, and then basically Liv telling Dom, "Oh no, it's okay," and then giving him all these orders. It was hilarious and kind of like, "Oh, Dom doesn't understand women. He screwed up." Good storyline, good stuff. We'll see if there's further development with Dom and Mommy and all that, I'm sure. But yeah, that was cool. She came out, and then we got Nia Jax talking about the transfer portal, which, okay, the transfer portal is, I understand why they had to do it because of the Netflix situation and trying to balance talent between shows, because Netflix wants certain talent and USA wants certain talent, So there's names that they want to appear on those shows. But then she comes in and just kind of acts like she deserves the shot, and she just lost to Tiffany Stratton. Sorry, blank. And quite frankly, like, I hate Nia. Like, she's terrible. And then Bayley, who happened to be in the crowd. Again, they did the thing with the people in the crowd. Braun Breaker was in the crowd. I missed one. During the Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser match. That was a so-so match. It wasn't, obviously, it's early in the show match. So Sheamus always puts on a show. He's always good. Kaiser's good too, but again, undercard talent, so you kind of forgettable at times. But the headbutt that Rhea gave Nia looked just brutal because she doesn't brace. She doesn't put the head like Nia did a headbutt and she put her hands there. Rhea just thuds her in the head. I mean, that's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. And then that broke out, and then Bailey and Rhea beat up Nia, which is cool. I think that women's Royal Rumble is going to have some surprises, potentials of, obviously Liv Morgan probably, but you're also going to have the potential return of the man, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss, Little Miss Bliss, maybe the Dark Persona. We don't know. So that was there's stuff cooking. They're cooking there, and I like it. Just like they're cooking with this Royal Rumble again. Sheamus, Kaiser, good match. Nothing that I would particularly write home about. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. It's not one of my favorite matches on the card. And then you get, of course, on X, you get and social media, you get the typical Triple H photo with the new champion. That's kind of his thing that he has to do. Now, I'm gonna say something that's kind of off the script here. We're gonna go a little left. I was listening to Busted Open today, and they did their masterclass, and their masterclass was talking about the fact that they're kind of breaking the rules. In that first Raw, they broke the rules talking about kayfabe and kayfabe, and heel and gimmicks, and they're talking about a lot of the quote unquote unspoken parts of wrestling, a work and a shoot, and all those words were spoken in the soft intro, or the cold intro to the Netflix Raw. And they were talking about how basically the rules of wrestling are unspoken things. And then they went into how Drew McIntyre was when he walked off the set at Busted Open. And those guys are kind of upset, and I understand. I understand why. Somebody did a poll. I gotta say this. Somebody did a poll, and Dakota Kai. They said Dakota Kai was winning the championship match on Twitter. Funny. But yeah, so they were talking about how that's kind of breaking down the walls to wrestling, and how there's a strong difference between the backstage rules and the unseen parts of wrestling that Triple H in the Triple H era is breaking down, and more of the backstage segments, what we saw with Drew McIntyre talking to The Rock, and the words that you can't say on Netflix, and that whole thing. Yet, okay, I find it really interesting that they couldn't swear on Netflix, but you can smoke a joint on Netflix. Just, that's a weird one to me. That's very weird. I'm referring to Travis Scott coming out with Jey Uso, smoking a joint. I did not see a Raw post show tonight on YouTube. I thought there was supposed to be a post show every week, and it's not on Netflix. I looked on Netflix. Did I miss the post show, guys? Was there a post show? If you know, answer me in the comments. But let's see here. No, there was no post show. Okay. Okay, hold on. Oh, listen to something.
Y'all have been heated ever since I announced I'm gonna become a full-time WWE superstar. You ever wonder why you're so mad at me?
Did I miss this?
You're mad at me because you want to be me.
This is probably gonna get me copyright strike. So this is Logan Paul. This is a Logan Paul promo. Talking about coming from top guy. I didn't see this part. Was this on Raw? Was this a commercial that I missed? Did I walk out of the room? Interesting. Okay, so new addition to my conversation. Logan Paul won't stop until he's the face of WWE. This is a promo that came out tonight. It says 19 minutes ago, so I don't know if that was on the episode or not. But Logan Paul in wrestling has been pretty good. People hate him. It's fine. I like it. It was definitely worth seeing the high flying, high risk moves he did. I'm enjoying it. What can I say? I'm enjoying the Logan Paul era of WWE. But that goes without saying. Like, okay. And I think there was mention that the Wyatt Six are now on SmackDown. They're now officially transferred to SmackDown. I think that was a segment with The Miz. I'm just trying to cover everything I missed. Miz wrestled Sami Zayn. I love watching Sami Zayn wrestle. Sami is the GOAT, El Generico. Good match. Again, winners and losers. You know, like that. It is what it is. Like it's fine. The more important part is that they're putting out good quality content. Mr. Beast is buying TikTok so it doesn't get banned. That's funny. But yeah, like just overall, like good stuff going with the Monday Night Raw. Let's get to the main event here. Let's talk about Damian Priest, Finn Balor in the street fight. Now, on paper, first thing I say is like, okay, we've seen Damian and Finn 30 times over the last year. Maybe that's an extreme exaggeration. But at the same time, we've seen this match so many times. We've seen Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley. The whole feud is played. I mean, it was even played to see Rhea Ripley and Liv, even though they're very good together. And I said that last week. I did say that last week. But this match was off the chain. The Netflix era is doing it right with main events. They really did do everything, use everything, and they crushed CM Punk's donuts. Yes, the title of the episode, CM Punk's donuts. So there was a shot when they wore, when they flew through the table, when they were outside the ring area, and it looked like it was a catering table. And it looked like there was a box of donuts on it. I don't know if you saw it. I tweeted it. I think I tweeted it under my main name, though. I don't think I tweeted it on. I wrote at CM Punk's Donuts. I thought it was kind of funny because I think they crushed them. And if you know the donut joke with CM Punk and the media scrums, that's where that comes from. So if you waited this long to see why I said CM Punk's Donuts was the title of this episode, that is why. But Damien is a really talented wrestler, and Finn is a really talented wrestler. But the problem here is that the main event scene, since CM Punk came back, since Seth Rollins has come back from injury, Drew McIntyre has come back from injury, now John Cena is here for one final year. I mean, the main event scene is so full. Plus, you've got Cody, you've got Roman, you've got the occasional Rock, you've got Kevin Owens, the Bloodline members. What happens when all the Bloodline members become full-time like main event stars? I mean, that's Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's technically floats between the mid-card and the main event scene. What are we going to do? We're going to have some good wrestling. Are they going to have to come up with another show? They already have 3. You know, they're on so many nights a week. Plus, they have this Speed thing. I don't know. I don't watch Speed. Couldn't tell you. But I don't know what you do. Plus, you got upcomers like Chad Gable. We don't know what this Penta guy is going to do. You've got Gunther. I didn't even mention Gunther. Gunther? I don't know how you guys say that. I say it different every time, it feels like. But what are we going to do? Like, I don't even know. All I know is that at the end of the day, we have good wrestling coming. And they delivered that in the main event again. I think this main event was not better than CM Punk and Seth Rollins just because there was so much more story there and build up, and they hadn't had a match. I think there's good build up when there's no match prior. Now this is going to be a WrestleMania rematch next week, so we're looking forward to something new and different. And I think they're going to keep delivering and bringing story forward this way. We're in that prime season, like I said, for wrestling, for the WWE, where all the stories are good and they aren't missing. They really aren't. So I can't wait for next week. I'll catch SmackDown. I probably won't talk about it. SmackDown was good, though. SmackDown was good. I'm really enjoying the Raw story. Raw is always and will always be the main event, the main show. And you can't argue that. Raw is War has always been the top ticket for WWE. I've seen so many SmackDowns and so many Raws, and I've always liked the Raws more because more things happen. It's more exciting, just all the way across. So, if you want to go to Raw and sit on the camera side of Minneapolis, section 131, $349 per seat. If you want to sit in the rafters, you're looking at $68 a seat. 111. Man, what about the non-camera side? $130. That's not bad. That's not bad. How close can you get? It's always about how close you can get. Oh, you can be right on the ring. $395 to be right on the entrance ramp. Is there any front row? Nope, no front row. Man, that sucks. Okay, so I'm done. I'm now down a rabbit hole looking at tickets to Monday Night Raw. So that being said, we are going to come back next week after Monday Night Raw and do this again. I don't know that this is going to be its own channel. It might be at some point, or it just might be something I do as an offshoot on my baseball channel. So if you're here for the baseball, hang tight. We're coming back in 5 minutes. As far as if you're here for wrestling, thank you for coming to Miller Park Minute. Eric Agnew does wrestling. The Minute. Follow me on Twitter at Miller Minute, or you can subscribe to the channel on YouTube. It's called the Miller Park Minute. I will be back talking wrestling. If you want to get in the chat and talk wrestling about me or with me, go ahead. Like I said, comment down below. Otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you for watching the Miller Park Minute Talks Raw.
Thank you for watching the Miller Park Minute. Go Brewers.